It's Jay. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm glad to see everyone that's hopping on right now, folks that are still joining us via Zoom or on Facebook Live. It's Jay. How are you? Um, a couple of house cleaning information for you guys. So you can take a look at the screen. We have, of course, a question and answer box. There's also a chat feature on Zoom. If you have any questions or you want to know some more information or you just want to share something too, you are more than welcome to use those two features with the chat, with the chat and the group. And also, if you're on Facebook, you can comment down and let us know just some little information about who's watching, maybe, and if you have any questions, or if we are actually looking to have some questions answered to by our audience. So, welcome again today, and we're going to get started. And I should introduce myself to you guys. My name is Samantha Coon. I am one of the youth service specialists with the Mvskoke Nation Youth Services. And today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about self-care. And I just want to tell you a little bit about our program right now. As you can see on our screen, we are the Mvskoke Nation Youth Services. We empower Mvskoke youth by connecting them to culture, community, and resources. You can see our program goals that are listed, which is to foster advocacy, provide resources, promote civic duty, encourage wellness, and create support. Today's webinar is actually a part of our youth wellness. And so we are encouraging wellness today. And so if you do have any questions, again, you can put that in the chat. I'm glad to see some folks taking advantage of that and just letting us know where you're from, and we're going to keep going on. All right. So welcome to Self-Care Isn't Selfish. It's a short guide of how to practice self-care. And I have, starting off with this, is a little quote. I really do like this quote. It's self-care, it's important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others, and you cannot serve from an empty vessel. Um, this is from Eleanor Brown. A lot of this quote I really do like, in the fact that it can speak to me as a professional, of course, working with young people and working with adults. But I also believe that it would be to the other parts of who I am, as a friend, as a sister, as a daughter, as a community member, um, as a mentor. It's all these different things, because it all ties together in self-care and taking care of yourself and your spirit. And so we do all these things so we can help other people. And so that's something that's very important. And a lot of times it's overlooked. So, what is self care? I'm going to ask that question. And of course, I know we have the chat features because I explained that to you guys earlier. So, let's hear it in the chat feature. Let's see it on Facebook. So, give me an idea of what is self care. What does self care mean to you guys? And I'll probably read just a couple of those out for our audience and for ourselves before we go on to keep discussing it too. So, who has an idea? Let's see. Whoops. What is self care? All right, there's one. Taking care of yourself by taking time for yourself. That is a good definition for self care. Very good. And thank you, Donna. Anyone else? Taking time to do something that is relaxing. That is a good answer. And as you can see, what self-care is, it's actually defined as an activity that we do deliberately. Like, we do this in order to take care of our mental, emotional, and physical health. And there's all different types of wellness that we do and that we talk about, but of those three main ones, that's kind of what we want to focus on. And self-care, it's actually something that we do overlook um, as adults. And I think more importantly, even as young people tend to overlook this in taking care of themselves because they're busy, they're on the go. Um, but yeah, self-care, it's also very, very important. It's key that it helps us improve our mood and it reduces anxiety. People may suffer from anxiety, depression, other things, mental health issues, or just stress in general. It just helps with that. It helps to reduce that, and it's also a major factor in good relationships with yourself and with other people. And with that statement, um, it is important. I laugh because sometimes you would hear quotes that would say like, if I think it was, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. I think that's how that one goes. But it just goes for yourself too, because if you, I'm not saying like if you're not happy, but you know if you are taking care of yourself, you're going to be able to take care of those that are around you. You're going to be able to serve those, and it's going to build up a relationship. It's going to build up with your friends, your family, your community, and all these things too. And we have already defined self-care, so we're going to move on to our next section, unless anyone has any questions too. And don't forget, we have the Q&A and we have the chat feature. So why is self-care important? We've gotten examples already. Um, but why is it important? Self-care, it's important because it encourages self-improvement. It promotes rest and relaxation. It benefits your overall health and wellness. Of course, like we said, it promotes healthy relationships. When our self-esteem, self-awareness improves, it really does have a positive impact and effect on our entire mindset. I know that sometimes, quote unquote, we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Um, those are mornings that you may be running late, or you may not have your favorite coffee ready. There might be a long line at McDonald's. It's things like that that can cause stress, but taking care of yourself and having self-care, slow down, take that time for yourself, it has a bigger impact. And so even with those small things, it affects your overall your overall mindset too. And so we want to start off taking care of ourselves and everything like that. So what are some types of self-care? I actually do want to see some comments in our chat of what are some types of self-care that you might know of. Like, what are some ways? And then we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I know we got some folks on with us on Facebook, so go ahead and put taking time to do something that is relaxing. Getting a massage, that is a really good activity. I am very ticklish, so I don't know if I could get a massage, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty relaxing. Let's see, meditation. Enjoying doing something like walking, working out. Yes, I like going for a walk. I take my fur baby Kevin out for a walk. It's like he likes walks. Taking a walk at sunset. Being outside. There's many days I like being outside. I'm not a naturalist, but I like being outside sometimes. So these are actually some of the different types of self-care. And we've talked about, you've given some activities, and the types of activities that we're talking about can relate to any one of these areas, actually. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, occupational, or environmental. Any one of those areas, you might be able to do an activity that I think somebody actually just shared like listening to soft music and just sitting there on the porch and to think about life. And that can actually be a way to take care of maybe your emotions, or it could be you could be thinking about your job or the future or things that are going on that you may not, of course, have control over, but you're just taking that time for yourself. And that's what's important. And there's actually another question of these different examples, whether it's your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, occupational, or environmental types of self-care, which do you think that you need the most? So like right now in the present, taking maybe 10, 15 seconds, what do you think, what type of self-care do you need at this moment? Thank you for sharing that. And you can put it in the comments. You can put it on our Facebook if you're joining us on Facebook. But take some time to think about that. You know, where do you need that self-care the most right now? And there's different areas too, and different types. That's just for you to think about. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. We've seen a couple that said, you know, mental, physical, occupational, emotional, spiritual. Yeah. And someone did bring up the pandemic. So yeah. Oh, what is occupational? Occupational, that type of self-care could be something that is tied to your work as a whole, or it could be something along the lines of even with school for a young person or even an adult too. If you need that type of self-care, maybe talking with your, maybe you're talking to your boss, maybe you need a day off, you can take a mental health day, or maybe talking to your professor or your teacher, or just setting aside that time. Yeah, it can be like work breaks. So it can be different things that relate to that as well. So it can be career wise, or it can be like education wise too, those types of things. So thank you for that question. How can I practice self-care? There are a lot of different ways that you can practice self-care, because like we said before, self-care, it's deliberate. You know, we do this on purpose for ourselves, and not just for ourselves, but for other people too as well. So we've seen some of the types of self-care and the areas that we might need it. How can you practice it? And we've already gotten some examples that you guys told us, but what are some other ways that you can practice self-care? I like that. Speak with family members you haven't spoke with in a while. That's a good one. Listen to CDs. Yes, listen to CDs. I will be honest, I haven't listened to a CD in a while. I will listen to like my Spotify playlist or my Apple Music. Salon care. Journaling. Okay, writing down thoughts, release some stress. Yes, that is a very good way to practice self-care too. I was like, I will put this out there. I like to take a nap. That is how I practice self-care at times. I like to take a nap. Meditating, reading the Bible, just having some me time. I know that there are some other ways that people do that. And even just some of these little examples that we have on this next slide is, you know, just going outside. And I know that we've talked about folks that were going out for walks, going outside. There's some things that, you know, breathing the right scents, and that is just an example. I love the smell of laundry. Sometimes I don't like doing laundry, but I love the smell of soap. It just smells clean and fresh and things like that. Enjoying a hobby. I don't know if anyone, you know, has a hobby. I like to think of as beading as is one of my hobbies. I like to bead. It helps me to slow down and focus, and I can take that time for myself, even though my sister and my dog are probably right there with me, but I can still have that time to myself to focus on something. And journaling, talking with friends, taking that alone time, cook and then eat your favorite dish, whether it's desserts, or something. Maybe somebody wants to cook steak. I don't know. Sewing and doing arts and crafts. Yeah. I even see on Facebook, they like to exercise. Yeah. Taking better care of your health, taking care of your physical health and wellness goes right alongside with all the different areas to the different types. Um, what is one way you would like to practice self-care now? It may not be on this list. It may not be something you've thought of, but what is one way that you would like to practice self-care now? Oh, write down your goals in life. Okay, go down. Okay, go back, release it, make a difference. Oh, along with the journaling. Okay, yeah. Road trip, getaway. I love a good road trip. I love to drive by myself. That is one of my other self-care things that I like to do. I like to drive by myself, listen to music, or just not even listen to music, just drive around. And yeah, gas prices are okay right now, so that might be something extra to do. Thank you guys for sharing in the chat. So with this, I just wanted to share this little bit of time with you guys, just to let you know that, these things, these deliberate acts that we do in order to take care of ourselves, these aren't selfish things. Self-care, it really isn't selfish. A lot of people maybe that don't know what self-care is, or they have an idea of what it could be, because it could be many different types of things that one does for themselves, but it's not selfish. Like this quote, I like this, I really do enjoy this quote. Taking care of myself doesn't mean me first, it means me too. For a lot of people, myself included, we don't take that time for ourselves, and we do put others first. And young people, you know young people today, they put so many things ahead of themselves now. Future plans, friends, family, and all these things, they are important, as they are important to us as adults, but it's taking that time to know that I'm important too. I need to take care of myself too as well. And with what we have learned today, and even just seeing just a little bit of what we can do to practice self-care, even in these small ways, that it is important for us, and that it's important that we practice these things and we do take them to heart. And so, I highly, highly encourage you to take some time out, even today. Um, whether you are out of school right now, you're just taking a break and you're listening to us, or you're getting ready to go home from work, or meet up with friends, or go to see family, whatever it might be, to remember just to take some time for yourself. Take some time to slow down, write, think, sing, dance, whatever it might be, to put yourself there, and just to know that, you need this time for yourself, and it is okay. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys today. Just a quick little bit about self-care, how to practice it, some of the basic things of it. And so I don't know if you guys have any questions, or if you have any comments, you're welcome to put those into the group, into the Q&A, or in the chat. and we will see what we can do. And if you are with us on Facebook, you have that option as well too, because self-care, it is important. And I think that's one of the things that we really wanted everyone to know today, is that it is important for you to take care of yourself, and not just um, go, because it's easy to do, but to just slow down, take some time for yourself, and to know that others are there for you as well, just like you are there for other people too. So I'm just gonna take some time and see if there's any questions or any comments for us right now. Thank you guys. It was like we had a quick little session with this too. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. I hope that with our wellness webinars, that you might be able to come back and join us when we have them again. And we do have some questions. Environmental self-care. Yeah, so going back, the different types of self-care, you may have some concern and for your environment, but also just kind of taking care of those things. I saw a funny video earlier talking about, plant care, taking care of things like that. So it's more like your surroundings is what it's like. The things that are around you, whether it's your home or your community, um, but it can also be the things that affect that. And so just taking some time in taking care of yourself in those situations, that's what it's kind of talking about with environmental self-care. So I hope that helps you understand that a little bit better. Thank you, Jessica, for joining us. And thank you, Jill, for that question. Oh, do I have a favorite myself? A favorite type of self-care? For myself, I, I really wish I could say physical self-care. I got a bad knee, so I don't get to do a whole lot of physical things. I do enjoy beading. I still think that is physical, but it also helps me with like my mental and emotional wellness, well-being. About a week or two ago, I lost a family member, and then like 2 days later, I lost a good friend, and she passed away suddenly too. And so it was a really stressful time for me. So what I did was, I started to bead, and I do like to bead, and I started with a new type of beading. And so I ended up making something that I said is a healing piece for me, just so I could focus on that time. So I think beading may be my go-to self-care. I really enjoy it, and I have a lot of fun. Even though I don't like poking my fingers with the needle, it's still a lot of fun. So thank you for asking that. Yeah. Thank you, Cindy. I hope you guys enjoyed this time, and I hope you did learn something. I know I still learn a lot of new things when it comes to self-care, because it can be almost anything. Going to the salon, getting your nails done, or going on a hike, or sitting at home, sitting on the porch, having some sweet tea, listening to some bugs. It's almost summertime. It could be anything that you do for yourself, taking that time out. And so I really hope you enjoyed that. And so if there's no other questions, thank you, Mado, for joining us. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to give us a call. You can actually even email us. Check us out. Check out our events on our mvskokeyouth.com /events to see what we have coming up next. And thank you all for joining us today. And I hope to see you all again soon. So, Meadow, thank you.